Welcome. Today, I am going to be talking about the top ways to build your progesterone naturally. I'm going to talk about some lifestyle tips and some food sources. And then I'm going to also talk about some of the signs, the top signs that your progesterone is off of balance. So welcome, radiant woman that you are. My name is Angela Warburton. I have over 25 years of clinical experience working with women at all stages of life, but in particular midlife and menopause. This is my passion. My specialty, my background is in Eastern medicine, nutritional therapy, lifestyle medicine, and Eastern herbal medicine. But I have so much more that I bring in. So I'm a practitioner with tons of experience, but I'm also a woman who's postmenopausal, and I struggled with my own experience of menopause, a lot of it the cultural narrative, but also understanding my body as it changed. So I am your host, your guide, your fellow woman, a midlife woman, and I'm just bringing together the different pieces, the science and the soul, the body, the mind, all the different time-tested wisdom to help you transition through midlife and menopause with more grace, with more ease, with more joy, and just understanding your body in a different way. So welcome. I am so grateful, honored, happy you are here. It is a joy for me to share this wisdom with you. So today we're going to talk about progesterone. Progesterone is a hormone that we'd say it's a hormone that balances out the estrogen in the body. It plays a key role when you're menstruating. It prepares the uterus for potential pregnancy, for sustaining pregnancy when it occurs. And unlike estrogen, which is often thinking of it's a juicy substance. It gives us that dewiness. Estrogen is very dense and very moistening, and progesterone is a more activating and balancing substance in the or hormone in the body. And it increases at the end of a woman's cycle, the luteal phase. And it's also energetically a time, if you know your cycle, if you've followed it, if you have this sort of natural ebbs and flows, we often get more social and peak with that sociability around ovulation. And then in the last part of the cycle, often we go introverted a little bit. We want to be less social. It's a time when we want to cozy up a little bit more at home, do less extroverted activities. This can be a sign when the progesterone is increased. Now, if you're not menstruating, we're going to talk a little bit about what happens post-menopause as well. So the primary function of progesterone is to balance out the estrogen effects of the body. So it keeps estrogen in check. So it's mainly produced in the ovaries when you're menstruating until after menopause. And after menopause, it's produced primarily in the adrenal cortex, which is the adrenal glands. The little glands are attached to your kidneys. These often are like, you think of them as like bank accounts of energy for if we're stressed, right? If we need more energy, those fight flight hormones, cortisol, adrenaline, that the adrenal glands are keepers of those, and they're a huge their primary function post menopause is to produce a lot of the hormones that the ovaries were taking, and let's say the ovaries were producing when you're menstruating. So, and in men also have progesterone. It's produced in the adrenal glands and the testes for men. So, well, the body can produce estrogen actually from progesterone. So we have progesterone, and the body can convert estrogen from progesterone, but it cannot convert estrogen or progesterone back from estrogen. That didn't sound like it came out that super clear. So the body can make estrogen from progesterone, but it cannot make progesterone from estrogen. So it's very easy for us to get depleted in progesterone, and it's actually one of the number one hormones we see decline when you get into perimenopause and menopause. So it's really key for hormonal balance, and it is easy to get off balance with progesterone. So it's one of the primary things that helps prevent estrogen from causing problems. So excessive tissue growth in the body. It can, counter side effects or things that we see with too much estrogen, like water retention, blood clotting, fat synthesis, fibroids, breast pain. This can all manifest when we have too much estrogen in the body. So we don't want to have that. So if we have too much estrogen for a long time in the body, it can lead to an increased risk of gallstones, liver dysfunction, pituitary tumors, breast cancer, endometrial cancers. We'd say it's too much yin in the body, and where progesterone's got a little more of that yang, more of an active state. So it's like just if you sit for too long, you feel kind of gross, and then you need to move. If you move too much, you need to sit. It's always about that balance in the body. So progesterone and estrogen work together in this beautiful and delicate balance. And something that's actually very important about progesterone, it's essential for supporting bone density and stimulating bone tissue growth. So we often see women perimenopause or postmenopausal with a decrease in bone density. This is common but not normal. So many of these symptoms we associate with midlife and menopause are common but not normal, meaning you don't have to have them. But it is a sign when we've overused, we've burned ourselves out, if we've sacrificed progesterone to become estrogen, or we've sacrificed estrogen to become cortisol, which I've talked about in other videos, and I'll continue to talk about that, then we end up putting our bodies at risks for some of the things that particularly in North America, the Western culture, but really North America, we see so many women suffering from, which is severe osteoporosis being one of them. So bone density often starts to decline in our mid-30s, and progesterone often starts to decline at that same time. So it's the number one hormone that we'll see a decline as women start to go through perimenopause and menopause. So if you're cycling, it shows up, as I said, at the second part of your cycle, the luteal phase. And so there can be signs that if you're low or you have too little progesterone. So let's talk a little bit about those. So if you've got too low progesterone, you're going to see signs of excess estrogen often. So that's fibrocystic breasts, mid-cycle spotting. You might have anxiety, insomnia. Progesterone is really helpful for sleep. You might get irritability, menstrual cramps, or heavy or irregular periods, or really short cycles. It really will show up, particularly if you're not cycling anymore. If you're anxious for no particular reason, this can be a sign that you have low progesterone. Struggling to sleep, right? I mentioned that's the first sign. If you're feeling really low mood, you have low serotonin levels, and you're just feeling kind of like down, it can be a sign that your progesterone is a bit low. You can have too much progesterone. You don't typically see this if you're just going about life and not taking any supplements. If you're supplementing with progesterone, it's dangerous if you get too much, and that's really where we only see too much progesterone, or if you're sometimes seen in pregnancy. So if you're getting severe breast tenderness, mood swings, waking up feeling groggy, bloated, dizziness, increased risk of yeast infections, it can be a sign that there's too much progesterone. There can obviously be reasons for mood swings and breast tenderness as well. So if you want to balance this, there are some ways that you can balance it naturally. So 2 vitamins that are really important for balancing your progesterone. You want to increase your B vitamins and your C vitamins. Any foods that are rich in zinc, so shellfish in particular, pumpkin seeds are rich in zinc. They can be helpful to build your progesterone. You really want to manage, all hormones, but for sure progesterone, you want to manage your stress. This is huge for women, perimenopause and menopause. It is the number one thing I see depleting women and sending hormones on a roller coaster is constant chronic stress at high levels. If you don't have those times of deep relaxation, of calm, of resetting, your body's going to be sacrificing its hormones, progesterone, estrogen, to produce cortisol, and you're basically going into hormonal overdraft. I talk about this a lot. I'll do another video on this, but stress management. Look at the videos that I've done on nervous system resetting tools, simple things that take literally 2 minutes that you can infuse your day with, and they will help bring your body back to balance. Just, little simple things like winding down for bed earlier, sleep hygiene, not overextending yourself, just even taking a moment between things, being present. And I say, be where your hands are. So often we're like way out ahead, or we're thinking about the past, but we want to be where our hands are. So those are something, stress management for sure. It's like everyone talks about it, but I really want to highlight the simple things that you can do to rebalance your stress too. Doesn't have to be dramatic, and you don't have to run away from the world, but just like I call it, the little drops in the bucket. Keep dropping in the bucket these things that balance rebalance your stress in your daily life, and it'll make a huge difference. Some other things to build your progesterone increase fiber-rich foods, so flax, quinoa, oats, the natural starchy carbohydrates, root vegetables, sweet potatoes, squashes build progesterone naturally, really helpful. Often women are craving carbs at that second part of their cycle, and this is because their body wants the progesterone. You guys are going to like this. Foods that are high in magnesium. So all your green foods are really high in magnesium. The center iron of chlorophyll rich foods is magnesium, but so is dark chocolate. So you might like that. You can also include always cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower. These are super great for your health, for vitality, for prevention of so many diseases, and really helpful for building your progesterone. Fruits like the citrus fruits, lemons, limes, grapefruits, oranges can be really helpful as well. In particular, pumpkin seeds, as I mentioned before, flax seeds are really helpful. I think I might have just screwed that up. Hold on, let me just double check something. And then but seeds, nuts and seeds are good for that. Stress management, laughter, always, always, always. And your social connections, friendships, believe it or not, that feel cozy, where you feel safe, these things that are maybe one-to-one versus big social times, that actually helps to build your progesterone as well. And I'm just going to double check a fact here. Okay, just double checking the nuts and seeds. There's sunflower seeds and sesame seeds are actually really great to highlight to build your progesterone as well. And so eating those on, from day 20 on, if your cycle, if you have a sort of 28-day cycle, that you can do a little bit of seed cycling or seed oil cycling, and highlighting those in the second part of your cycle will be really helpful as well for building your progesterone. So there you have it. Top signs of progesterone imbalance, what it does, and some foods and activities that you can do to rebalance it naturally. So I hope that was helpful for you. I'd love to hear. Please place a comment in let me know what you thought. If you like this video, always please like it. If you want more content like this, always hit subscribe, and please forward on to any other woman that you think would benefit from this material. It is my joy, my honor, and my passion to spread really helpful information to help you understand your body and give you really practical tools in order to rebalance, feel vibrant, healthy, and live your most radiant life, because that's what this portal of menopause and midlife is about, is really getting you from one stage of life to another. And there's so much good. As I say, this is where the story gets good. So I'm here to help you find that joy, find that passion, understand your body, and really live your most radiant life. So thank you for being here. Have a beautiful rest of the day or evening. I will see you next time.